Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen up, my ICP holders. Today, we are going to be going over the charts, right? What is going on with ICP? Is there any big relevant news that has come out in recent times? And what do I expect with this coin? Where are we headed in the short term and the long term future? Listen up, right? As of right now, we can see overall, just generally speaking, not even just looking at this chart, most things are heading in a downtrend. There are multiple reasons, right? People believe of X, Y, and Z. But for me, it's always kind of been in the charts. As of right now, we can tell that we are creating, lower lows every time ICP has any type of burst to the upside. It fails to go above a big massive zone, right? It always fails to go above a big massive zone, and that is the reason why it causes, the price to go down. I know many other variable there are many other variables people may believe, but you know me that I value the technical analysis the most. Look, this doesn't mean it's necessarily bad, doom and gloom, right? Because here is the reality, right? Here is the reality of the charts. Everything has to ping and pong. Okay. That is just the truth. That is just the truth. Some people think, the altcoin season is over, right? For me, it hasn't even begun. Technically, it has begun. Well, the bull run has begun, but not altcoin season. There is just so much bullish news. I seriously, seriously doubt altcoin season is canceled. I'm going to read you some of the news that I have, found and done research for and things that I've seen. Excuse me, that just came in my way. And I'm going to read them out loud right now. And you guys just let me know if this is bullish, bearish, or somewhere in the middle. Grayscale files for Solana ETF. Grayscale files for Litecoin spot ETF. Wall Street CEOs are ready to go bigger in crypto. Okay. President Trump signs crypto executive order to create a national digital asset stockpile. Okay. Bitwise files Dogecoin ETF. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says he is a big believer in Bitcoin, predicts it could rise to 700,000. Okay. So you just tell me right now, based off just some news, right? This is not even directly with ICP. This is just overall with the markets and some other big, massive coins, which does play a part, right? It does play a part. Does that seem bullish or bearish? If the answer was bearish, well, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to disagree with you, right? Because everything said there is absolutely bullish. Number two, if you said bullish, then yes, I agree with you. But what does that mean? Well, it means a lot of things that are happening on a micro level don't necessarily matter. What are the most important factors? The most important factors is that your coin, let's say in this instance, ICP, is just doing things fundamentally well on their end, right? They are doing whatever updates they need to do. They're getting listed on whatever exchange they need to get listed on. They are doing, certain collabs and innovations, whatever it may be, as long as they are keeping their promise or improving, that is all that matters. Okay. So, what is the other thing that matters? Well, buy zones, right? Right now, we can see everything is dipping. And I understand for some of you, you guys are out of money, right? But for the people that still have some money, that are liquid, people that are looking to just get in, right? You are supposed to be looking for buy zones, okay? Right now, we're not worried about selling, okay? The timing of the market doesn't even suggest historically ever that we would be pumping super, super, super hard at this time. It would just be Bitcoin and maybe a few other things, right? But right now, generally speaking, what we should be focusing on is looking to be buying and where ICP can potentially retrace, right? If you already are out of money, You just have to ignore this. You just have to keep up with the updates and the bigger picture. If you are not an ICP, then this is more relevant to you. Okay. So for me, right, this is what I mean. Okay. We expect price to be going down. That is just the reality, right? Everything has been going down. This is not an ICP issue. This is just an overall market correction. And market corrections are good because with a market correction, you can expect bigger pumps in the future. So there's a few zones I am looking for ICP. One of them is currently roughly at around $8.50. Even though there are some lows right over here, it just seems too bearish for me to believe it is going to hold. So I believe we are going to drop to lower levels. We could even potentially drop to lower levels of $7.50. So if you're new or you're looking to be doubling down on your positions, then this area, generally speaking, let's say from 720 to 860 is where the big buy zone is, right? If you don't care about the micro levels or you don't care about getting for a dollar cheaper or whatever it may be, then just know, generally speaking, from 720 to 860 is going to be the buy zone. And this is where I would expect things to start going sideways and reversing over the next few weeks. Okay. So now that that's out the way, right? What is the next thing for me to personally believe that ICP, like confirmation for ICP is reversing, right? So for me, it would have to, like I said, have to start going sideways. And it would have to do something like this, more or less, right? Whatever the sell is, it doesn't really matter. So let's just say we do something like this. Then we would have to probably do something like this for a while, break up and have a big bang, like go above one of these key levels and go back down. And that is going to be lots and lots of confirmation. In hindsight, it's still technically going to be early because ICP will be doing its thing, right? ICP will do what it has to do, right? So in hindsight, this type of move over here of a big rally going over, $11.50 is not going to be, needing too much confirmation bias, right? But it is some type of confirmation bias you need if you really want me to tell you, if I was looking in your eyes, being like, yeah, this is the reversal. Okay. So that is what I'm looking for next. The next thing I'm looking at is okay, also Bitcoin dominance, right? That is also what I'm looking at, right? Right now, we can see, generally speaking, that we are holding a trend line. However, if we start breaking below, right, then we will start selling off to roughly 8% dominance for the top, for the altcoins, not inside the top 10. So once that happens, right, we would have to see how it reacts off of this, 8.25%. But at the moment, we don't have to worry about that. At the moment, we expect a bounce back and to create higher highs. So, everything aligns because this is part of, ICP. Of course, it's also part of a lot of other coins, but generally speaking, the market is down. We also have to realize that Bitcoin still has a long way to go, in my opinion, right? I still believe at the minimum we should be rising another 40 or so thousand at the minimum, right? 150,000 is something where I expect. Price prediction is not that important in my opinion. It's more about the phases and the structure in the markets than, getting the price prediction right. We can always use certain data and tools and say this or that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because what the charts will tell you is what reality is. Okay. So if today there were signs of reversal that, everything's going to crash and we start crashing, that's it, right? It doesn't matter what I predicted. Like that's just it. But at the moment, there are no signs. There very well may be a pullback, and I would not be surprised. We are holding this trend line over here. But as stated in a previous video, ladies and gentlemen, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, is this really going to hold? I would be more surprised that it held than it getting swept, going back to certain key levels of, let's say, 92,000 to 95, generally speaking, before it continues going up, right? That is just based off what I've seen with Bitcoin. That is what I just have seen generally in the markets. It usually never just holds like this. If it does, very impressive. And for me, that's more of an anomaly situation than something normal, right? We can even see here that Bitcoin does whatever it has to do, goes up, has a big pullback, and then it has a big rally, right? So that is kind of why I expect a final pullback to then have a big rally. This is important because Bitcoin has to do what it has to do. Ethereum has to do what it has to do. Bigger cap coins have to do what they have to do. And then that's when ICP and other coins will start shining. So, ladies and gentlemen, do not panic. Zoom out a little bit more. I believe everything will be right. There is probably a 0.01% chance I am wrong and this whole altcoin season is canceled. If that happens, I mean, it is what it is, but I'm going to, put my eggs in the basket of a 99.9% chance of there being an altcoin season. There's no reason to over stress yourself. Remember, one moment you think you're going to be a millionaire, the next moment you think you're losing your money. Remember, that's just human emotions. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy it, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.